Hello, my name's Colette. Today we're going to do Practical Tarot, card 2, the High Priestess. The High Priestess can be a hard card to understand. We have to really take her down to basics. So if you look at the card, and there's very many versions of her, but she looks kind of quite serene, but a wee bit scary as well. She's got a sacred book on her lap, but it's half covered. She's kind of keeping her secrets to herself a bit. And in any card, you've got all sorts of symbols with the columns and the crescent moon. And this is a card that kind of actually too many symbols on it. And you have to really bring her back to basics. Now, the High Priestess is the card of intuition. She's the card of the kind of feminine energy of the moon. She's the card of the energy of the clairvoyant, the healer, the person who knows things, who has the secrets as such. And because of that, she comes out quite a lot in readings, because a lot of people that will come for readings are actually quite psychic themselves. So this is a part of them, and sometimes it's their major card that says that this area of their life needs developing or they need advice in it. So the High Priestess is this sort of esoteric, beautiful woman, goddess creature, not really like the Empress of the real earthiness. She's otherworldly. She's very much in the realms of consciousness and of creativity and all the things that we want to know about. So she's very mysterious, and that's wonderful. But when someone comes for a reading and they have a very practical question, how do we relate to a very kind of airy-fairy card? Well, it's quite simple. Again, I'll refer to one of my books, Ouija Tarot, where I thought the best thing to explain the High Priestess was to put her in the city as fortune teller, clairvoyant, whatever you want to call it. But back in the 70s, etc., it was fortune teller. And she was the person that people went to for advice that they couldn't get from other areas, say like the church or the High Priestess or whatever. She was the person that told them deep things about their life and understood where they were coming from and where they were going. So really in the fool's journey, you had to meet her. So think of her as anyone who really walks their talk or lives their life based on spirituality, mysticism. So any clairvoyant that's worth their stuff is the High Priestess. Any healer that's worth their stuff is the High Priestess. And it doesn't matter if they're male or female or anything in between or anything other side. It really does not matter. It's a feminine card, but the energy is genderless in its own way. So she's kind of taking the fool to understand his inner self a wee bit, his intuition rather than his instinct and his intellect. And that's where she weaves her magic as such. So in a spread with other cards round about it, what would she mean? As I say, if someone's coming for spiritual advice, she's a card that says they have a gift themselves, or they're wanting to develop this spiritual side of their nature. But what if she comes out in a financial spread? What do you do with her there? Because she's hard to explain in that sort of way. And to be honest, the chances of her coming out in a financial spread are quite limited, because it's very practical and deep. But when she comes out, I would just say that, focus on whatever visual comes out at you. The one I use is the hidden book. It's as though with finances, be aware that something might be hidden. Be aware to look deeper than on the surface. You need to take it to another level. With relationship, or you can bring out that aspect of being intuitively drawn to a partner, to feeling the person at soul level, that I actually really like her in an emotional spread, because she's again taking it to another level, a deeper level. With health, again, there's a slightly hidden aspect. So if there were negative cards round about it, it would be like, what needs looked at deeper? Where do we need to go with this? And she can sometimes, although she's very esoteric card, be linked to science as well, but more undiscovered science and the things that we don't understand about science, the theories of science. So in health, she can be quite good, but act as a wee warning as well. In career, again, I think it tells the person to really go into themselves, to ask themselves, what do they want? You know, if they've just grown up and their dad was a lawyer and they were expected to be a lawyer and they're a really good lawyer, but then they come and sit in front of me, age 45, like, I don't like being a lawyer. What do I do? And this comes out the High Priestess. It's not really me to tell them, it's to tell them, what do you feel in your guts? What is your intuition telling you that you've always wanted to do? And if that means go take a baking course or go skydive and whatever. So in career, you're actually telling someone to look very, very deeply. She's a magical, wonderful card of intuition, the psychic arts, the occult, the sense of the things that are mysteries. Will we ever know the mysteries? Well, they're mysteries, so probably not. But it's nice for us to explore them. So that's maybe the full goes to the High Priestess, to learn that he has this thing called intuition, and that intuition will serve him well on his journey. So if you remember the word intuition linked with the High Priestess, you won't go wrong. Many blessings.